Salut people from all around the world, it's Ellie. Welcome into my kitchen. Today it's not a cooking video, we're just going to share some knowledge together because it goes both ways. I want to show you and share with you things I do with my partner to save money on a daily basis. It will be divided into three categories, and the first one is dedicated to our home and cooking. That's why we're in the kitchen. And the second category is health and wellness, or health, wellness, and self-care, because to me it's kind of tied together. And the last category is lifestyle in general. So all the things I was not kind of able to put in the first two categories are going to be in the lifestyle category. So it's going to be like lifestyle and random things. So first, very important thing we do, or that we have started doing maybe 2 years ago, because to give you just the context, I live in France. I am 26, so I have started working my first post-grad job 3 years ago. So we're kind of in the first years of our active adult lifestyle. So we're starting to build a little bit of savings, and we can now afford more nicer things than in college, but still, you know, we have other priorities. It has to be put into context because maybe you're 30, 40, 50 and you have a bit more wealth or savings on your accounts, but I'm quite young, so I don't have that much money. But I think you can implement those things at any level and pick and choose what works for you, and tell me what you feel inspired by. I would love to know. And also, before I get kind of into it, I would love to know what are the things you do in your family, or you alone if you live alone, to save money, like your top 3 things. I would love to know. The first thing that saves us money in the long term is investing in quality and long-lasting home and kitchen equipment, especially utensils and cookware. For example, about 2 years ago, we have bought this stainless steel pan. It is well loved, it is used every day. It works so well. You just need to learn how to care for it properly. Especially having good kitchen equipment makes a huge difference in my daily life. I do the cooking. I love cooking. It has to work for the lifestyle we have, and having a few little pans and pots that work, such as the stainless steel pan, a Dutch oven, but I think I'll do like a separate video on all the kitchen items that are kind of essential. But yeah, long lasting and higher quality things. It takes time to build your kitchen or build your home and fill it with high quality things because it's expensive, but maybe put the money for 3 months aside and then purchase the pan you want it to have, or ask it for your birthday. The second thing is laundry detergent. Making your own will save you so much money. From the statistics I have seen online, for a couple, they probably spend 200 euros or dollars on laundry detergent a year, and for a family of 4, it's usually 4, 5, sometimes 600 a year. The laundry detergent I make every 2 to 3 months. It costs less than $2, and it is so easy to make, and it works really well. So this one is a huge money saver. Another thing, and this one I'm so excited to show you, is making your own beeswax candle, or candles in general. I prefer beeswax because it's non-toxic. It seems extra complicated and time consuming, but it is not. Honestly, it takes maybe 30 minutes max to do, and you can make them for the entire year if you want. You just need to learn. Learning new skills saves you money and makes you wiser than the usual person who has less of a skill set. This is a huge thing for me because I love candles, and if you don't, that'll save you even more money. That's good for you. But I make my own beeswax candles. I purchase my beeswax from a local producer or from Amazon. I buy it in bulk, which saves me money, and then I make my candles for the season or for the next 6 months. And maybe one day, if I will live in a house big enough for more storage, I'll make my candles for the entire year. This way I just have to do them once, and it works really, really well. I obviously understand that it might seem extra to do your own candles. You maybe don't have the time because you have kids, or you don't even want to try it. it's totally okay. I'm just sharing the things that work for me and for my partner. Actually, he doesn't even care about candles. It's literally a me thing. Then sourdough bread. This one, again, it depends the season of life you're in. If you have kids, if you don't even want to try because it feels overwhelming, I understand. I thought it would be a very hard thing to do and very time-consuming thing to do, but it's just like learning a new system. It doesn't even take that much time. You just literally need to feed your sourdough a day before you make it. I'll also make a video on this if you're interested. And then you just need to pour the flour, the water, the salt, the sourdough starter, you mix it, and then you need to knit it a few times, and then it's just like letting it proof and you put it in the oven. You don't have that much work with it. It saves you a lot of money, and in terms of quality, it is the best bread I ever had. And I live in France, so I mean, I'm just saying. Another thing this time is not a dedicated like kitchen thing. It's buying very high quality linens. Having a few but long lasting linens. If you wash them a lot, like I wash my bed sheets every week, but that's just like a personal preference. I also wash my kitchen towels every few days. And then I have a new tablecloth, a cotton tablecloth. I have purchased a really nice one for 15 euros at a thrift store. And this tablecloth is older than me. It's probably even older than you. I think it's like a very, very old family tablecloth. You can find really high quality linens at thrift stores. The quality of the cotton or the linen or I don't know which kind of material you like to have for your sheets, but the better quality it is, the softer it will get with time. You will not sweat in it as much, and it will just last you a long time. Most of the sheets I have are from college. I just bought really nice ones once, and now I just, you know, from time to time I purchase like a new bed sheet, but it's very rare. I have only like 3 or 4 that I rotate through, and I love them. Okay, this one is interesting. I have put on my list homemade non-toxic air fresheners. I have stopped years ago buying Febreze. I don't know if you have that in other countries, but maybe it's just a French thing. Just like those diffusers or those sprays you put on your curtains when it smells bad, or you just want like to have a very nice little smell. It is very toxic for you, first things first. And the second thing is it costs a lot of money. So I use only natural methods. The first one is I just wash my curtains more often, because usually the smell cannot be hidden. It has to be like removed. If you cook fish in your apartment, the likelihood of your apartment smelling like fish for a few days is actually very probable, which is the case for me. A few days ago I made fish, and even though I closed the door from my kitchen, it smelled in the apartment. So I have implemented some natural alternatives, but I have also washed the curtains that kind of took the smell of I don't know. So just to say, the most effective and the cheapest things that I do at home are I buy the cheapest grinded coffee at my local supermarket, and I put that in all of the little extra vases I have at home, like the decorative one. For example, in the kitchen, if you have watched my seasonal home decor, I have this one in the kitchen with like some wheat, and here I have just put the grounded coffee, and it smells really nice when you just walk past it, and it kind of captures the smells. Those things, like those coffee little vases or pots all over the apartment, and I change them every few weeks. And then I also have smaller vases hidden, for example, one behind the toilet, one in the fridge, one in the shoe closet, where I have put baking soda and essential oils, and it works really, really nice, and it's really affordable. This one is kind of annoying, you hear it everywhere, it's meal prepping. I'm not going to necessarily talk about food, like meal prepping your meals and everything, because that is, you know, it depends how much time you have, if you like the method of meal prepping. But when I say meal prep, is freezing the little annoying things that are time consuming, such as onions, garlic, ginger. You can just pre-chop everything, put it in a plastic bag and dump it in the freezer, and this way you just take it out when you need it. It saves you time and it saves you money. Same with rice, especially if you live alone or like maybe just with your partner and you don't want to cook a huge quantity of rice. Just pre-cook it, let it cool and freeze it. That way you can just reheat your rice. But don't buy those expensive Trader Joe's pre-frozen rices for like $4. Just do your own. Why would you? Because convenience today is the problem. We want everything fast, and sometimes just put the effort into doing it once every few months, but it will save you money, and it is usually also healthier to do it. But again, choices, people, choices. Then this one is the last in the home and kitchen category, is buying everything in bulk or discounted or at a good price, especially for the things you know you will have to repurchase every few weeks. I use the same shampoo as my boyfriend. We have found over the years something that we both like in terms of smell, and also that worked for my curly hair and his straight hair. And I buy it when it's on clearance. It's the Chlorane shampoo. I buy the biggest bottle I can find, and I just put it in our shower in those IKEA transparent little pumps. And this way it saves us space in the shower, and we both use the same. I don't need to have like an expensive shampoo made and marketed for women. We use the same one. Same for shower gel. I buy the biggest available recharge for my shower gel, and it's so much less expensive than the individual small shower gels. Buy everything in bulk when possible. Same in the kitchen. The dishwashing soap, I buy it in bulk and I put it in those IKEA little jars. Same for my hands. I have this one in the bathroom. I just took it to show you, but I have another container with Savon Marseille. I buy my liquid hand soap for very cheap and in very big quantity. Same for vinegar. What I have put on the list? Yeah, vinegar, baking soda, toilet paper, nuts, organic flours, because I use a lot of flour because I make my own bread, so I buy it in bulk. And then beeswax, because obviously the bigger the quantity I purchase from the beekeeper, the better deal I can get on the beeswax, because it's usually a bit expensive. For the teas, I buy them in bulk as much as possible. Yesterday I went to my favorite local herboristerie where they sell medicinal plants, because I'm on my period and it really hurts, and I have bought my teas in bulk, and you get very nice quality plants, and it's cheaper than purchasing the Lipton or I don't know which brands, of like individual prepackaged tea. Obviously when I travel I have some of them extra like prepackaged, but mostly I use in bulk tea. Now the health and wellness category. The first thing I want to put on it, I'm not sure I have heard about it a lot on the internet, is oil pulling. It's like an ancestral or holistic thing that was used, I believe, in India for years and years. It's just putting about a teaspoon of either sesame oil or coconut oil as soon as you wake up, and you, I don't know how you say it, you do this for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you just spit it out, and it removes a lot of germs you have that accumulate in your mouth and on your teeth at night because of the reflux we all have. And I also scrape my tongue. And if you're wondering why the hell did I put it on it, because it's like an extra step that not a lot of people have, I'm going to tell you why. I purchase a huge jar of coconut oil. I do it every morning, and I have been doing it for maybe 4 or 5 years now. And it might seem like an extra ridiculous holistic boo-boo thingy, but it's not. Ever since I have been doing it, every time I go to the dentist, she looks at me and she's like, I think you have the healthier teeth I have seen this year. And I'm not even kidding. I haven't had a tooth problem in years. And I'm pretty sure it's because of this, because when I was younger, I had to have like those refills in your teeth a few times, because of carie, I don't know how you call this. But I haven't had it in maybe 5 years, and to me it kind of goes with the oil pulling method, because ever since I started this, I have seen that my teeth are whiter, stronger, and in a really good health. So that's why I put it on. Sometimes preventive care is way better than curative care. So you take it, you try it if you're interested. I'm just sharing it with you. Then the second thing is clay mask. I don't purchase expensive masks at Sephora for my face. I don't see the point personally. I don't go to an esthetician. I use a plain old clay mask. I use green clay. It works really well. It is effective. And it is not a marketed thing. My clay mask cost less than $4 and lasts me for a few months, and my boyfriend uses it also, and it works really well, especially if you have really big pimples. I don't know if you can see it, but because I'm on a period, I have some of them, and it works really, really well. Another thing is retinol. This might also seem extra because at 26, not everyone uses retinol, which I get, but I try to think about preventive care and the long-term for a lot of actions I implement in my routine every day. And retinol, I see it as a good investment because first of all, it's not really expensive. My retinol is a prescribed retinol by my dermatologist. It cost 36 euros and it lasts me for about 8 or 9 months, the entire tube. I use it twice a week. I see a huge difference on my acne. And as I said, I don't go to an esthetician. I don't pay for facials that are like $200. At my age, I don't do this. I just prefer to have one good cleanser for my face, one good moisturizer, and one good active ingredient. That's it. Other and last thing from the health and self-care section is using cornstarch instead of dry shampoo. Again, first of all, it is toxic, but whenever I'm in the rush and my hair is a little bit greasy like today, I just use the cornstarch I have in my kitchen. I take a teaspoon, I go right above my shower, I put my head down and I put some through my hair. It works so well. You cannot see it. You have a wonderful hair volume and it's cheap. Like, it doesn't cost anything and you have it at home. Don't buy those $10 expensive dry shampoos. You really don't need them. I'm in need of caffeine, so I'm just doing a little caffeine break. And now let's move on to lifestyle. I have a very specific thing I want to discuss, and I would love to know what you think about this. So I'm only 26, I have a lot of things to learn about life, but this is one thing I really don't have any problem with, is saying no. This is the first thing on the lifestyle list, is saying no. Saying no will save you so much money. And when I say that, it seems stupid, but people are so scared of not being valued by others and maybe looking like giving a first impression of not being cool if they say no. They are scared to say no. I am not. I value my time too much, and the time I spend with other people than my partner, because I don't have kids. Like, if I want to see my friends, I only seek to see the people I love, and the same will happen for my money. I will never say yes to a colleague for a drink if I don't appreciate her that much. Like, if everyone asked me to go for a drink, I would rather spend my money on those 12 euros I'll put on a mojito to do it with a friend, like with someone I really want to see. So I really don't mind saying no to like socializing events, going for drinks with people I don't want to see, or going to a restaurant, or even for trips. Sometimes you have not so close people too that are like, oh, we should go there, we should take a plane ticket there. And I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool, but no thank you. This one, I love it. I have been doing it for years. It's whenever I want to buy something, like a pair of shoes, a handbag, a piece of clothing, or anything that is not a need and like a real need, like food. I either screenshot it on my phone or I take a picture of it and I revisit the picture a few days after. And I rethink my choice. Like, do I really need or do I really want this pair of shoes after like a few days or a few weeks? Is the price reasonable for the season of life I'm in? And I really try to think about it and not lie to myself. Oh yeah, I need it because I want it, because I have those extra $100 aside. I really think about the choice. And then if after a few days it still feels like a good decision, then I go and purchase it. I don't do impulse purchases. Another thing that is that goes hand in hand with this is I'd never go shopping for clothes with friends, because it influences you into choices you wouldn't have made if you were alone. Just because you're spending a good time, if you're trying a scarf and your friend is like, oh, it goes so well with your eyes, you might purchase it. But if you were alone, you might have not purchased this $40 scarf. So every time I go shopping is for things I need or I have on my list and I have thought about it. Obviously, like everyone, from time to time I purchase something that just makes me feel happy that I don't need. But I do it in 90% of the cases alone, and those extra 10% of the cases is either with like a sibling when they visit me or with my boyfriend. But I like to shop alone for clothes and for like bigger things for my wardrobe. This one might seem stupid, we don't necessarily think about it, but it is part of saving money, is learning how to take care of what you already have. I have a few little gadgets that I really like and I'm going to link down below. For example, to take care of my really high quality shoes that I already have, to not have to repurchase them in a few years, I have invested into like a good shoe cleaner, into a water spray proof for my shoes, and I have this really cool sponge for leather shoes. And then, for example, for my sweaters, I have bought this Philips thing. I don't know if it's called like a peeler or I don't know. It just removes the little wool or like material particles that accumulate on your sweaters. It's important to care for what you have, because if you don't learn how to care for what you have, you will have to repurchase it all the time. And it's stupid, because you're misusing the money you have. But again, if you can afford that, but it's very wasteful in all the cases. Even if you can afford to repurchase things, learn how to sew a little hole if you have a hole in your pants, how to clean your shoes, how to take care of your sweaters, how to wash your sweaters properly, especially cashmere and wool, how to take care for your coats, like your winter coats. I only have a few of them, but they're really nice. And once a year I take them to the dry cleaner, but I take care of them the rest of the year. I have extra little gadgets that work really well for coats, etc. Another thing, and this is almost the last item, is do things in bulk when possible to save money and time. For example, when you grocery shop for non-perishables, if I had a house with a storage unit or a freezer, what I would do for sure is try to limit the times I go to the grocery store for perishables. I would for sure have one grocery shop every 3 or 4 months, and even like every 6 months, to like buy toilet paper, oils, and all of those things. Because first things first, if you're able to store those items, you will not have the inflation on the prices every few weeks, and it saves you a lot of time and money, and gas money, of course. Then, for example, what did I have put on the list? Other than grocery shopping for essentials, you have making candles. You can do it once a year and make all of your candles for the year. Then you have batch cook, granola, and those things you can store very easily, or like bone broth, which takes time to cook, and then you just freeze it. Yeah, the ideal would be to have an extra freezer for the future. I would love to have a house with a good big freezer to make a lot of yummy meals and freeze them. And the last thing on the list is have clear priorities on your spending. There are things on which I spend a lot of money, way more than the average, and my boyfriend would be the first one to confirm. I am a spender on food because I like high quality produce. I can afford it even at this stage of life, and it has always been my priority. I do not drink a lot outside. I rarely go for drinks with my friends. But for food, it is another thing. It is so important for me. Health, food, safety are the things where I spend the most of my money. I try to be reasonable when I can buy things in bulk. But yeah, I spend more money on food than other people, for sure. because it's a priority. But there are other things that are not a priority where I don't mind spending less. For example, our car. For me, having a car, I just want it to be safe, work nicely, and be able to park it easily in town because I live in a big city. But we have purchased it with our own money. We didn't take a loan, and it is secondhand, and it was very cheap. We purchased a expensive bed and mattress because to us sleep is important. But there are other things, for example, our couch, we bought it secondhand for about $100. You know, at this stage of life, we need to have priorities. We cannot have everything super expensive, but we pick and choose what is the most important to us. And with this said, I hope you liked a few things from the video, that you might be interested in trying something. And in any case, I would like to know what are your main things you do to save money. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon, guys. Salut!